she would gripe at me, and finally I told her, when I can sit on my fat butt and then take a bath and go to the Kingdom Hall and not have to work, I might not wear perfume. Until then, I'm wearing perfume. She didn't say nothing else to me about it.
I spent the night at their house at least twice when we were kids, and everything was just weird. Like everything she did seemed like the opposite of what somebody would do.
Oh, and she loved the girls to come over. She paid them
to leave around 8.
to wash dishes and wash clothes.
Yeah.
And Courtney,
didn't they have a horse for a while too out there? Or they lived on a property that had a horse or something?
They had a horse, I think.
I barely remember your names.
Our girls would go over, and we had one night. We went over to Waterbury, I think it was, and Micah wanted to ride in the truck. So Johnny was driving, Stephanie was in the middle, and Micah was on the back, on the outside. He opened the door while we were going down. Now, this truck had this huge vacuum head underneath. I don't know what kept him from getting killed when he fell out.
But they never said anything to their kids, and they would just let them play with the handles.
Yeah. I went out in service with him one time, and Philip was still pretty little, and we all got in the car, and he's chewing on something, and he kept chewing on it for a couple more stops or whatever, and finally Pat was like, "What are you chewing on?" And he pulled it out, and it was a bottle cap, like a metal bottle cap, and she's like, "Where did you even get that?" And he said he picked it up like out of the gun or whatever. He picked it up.
Oh, that reminds me of that piece of candy they show in the Watchtower.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It might be a piece of candy, but would you eat it? Yeah, it takes all kinds to make this world go around. You just wonder what they're going to be like in the new system. You know, are they going to still be a little weird? Yeah.
How much is imperfection and what's just them?
Yeah. And you know, I wonder, you know, if it's something that you learn, like that little girl that they're now running on the news, that her mother, Rose something. Anyway, her mother told her she was sick all her life and had her carried and all that. Well, she got out of prison this week after 9 years from killing her mama. And so she's talking about, they're all talking about that. Yeah, she's perfectly healthy. All that.
I didn't realize she was out of prison.
Yeah, just got out this week.
That's what Pat did to Micah. You know, we would take him out in service, and she would have him eating something every hour, and she carted all his junk with him, and then she sent it with him when he went with other brothers, and then got mad when they bought him something to snack on instead of his junk. But he'd come over to our house. She never brought any food. He ate whatever I gave him. He never got sick. She didn't gripe at me. She didn't bring him any food, so I figured.
think Micah's still like that. Like, he still believes that he has.
Oh yeah, he had a real nice job. He was in charge of the computer system for some city.
I remember that.
But he just too sick to keep the job.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean,
It's a shame.
I am so glad I'm not the judge. And you know, it's kind of like what. Have y'all seen the broadcast for January?
Yeah.
We've seen. We're still working on it. Right?
Yeah, we've seen part of it.
Yeah.
Well, that was the annual meeting. So,
Yeah, we were partway through Brother Jackson's part, I think.
He was. I tell you, that was. We were talking about that today, and the sister was like, "I just can't believe one of the governing bodies is funny."
There's a lot that are fun. I love Brother Hurd. Brother Hurd always cracks me
Oh
up.
yeah.
That sense of humor.
Was it Brother Hurd?
But when he said that, you know, he said, I know everybody's waiting for this Jesus video. I got some clips, and I may get in trouble, but I'm going to show them to you. Yeah, he goes on and on. Have you seen? You remember that?
I don't think we've gotten that far yet.
No.
Spoiler in there.
Yeah, I won't tell you.
Yeah, we got part of it to watch
He
still.
cracks me up.
Yeah, so it's nice, and real, because so many friends, and I know a lot of it is because of the problems and pressures
Put those in
that
your pocket.
they have on them, that they're like that. But nothing's funny. They're always growling and griping. And I mean, even when they give talks, we're gonna go into the new world and we'll be perfect. Come on, let's get a little enthusiastic
yes,
here.
a little liveliness is good.
And I tell you, all the stuff that's going on now with all, United States bombing all these places,
Yep. Getting close.
shooting planes down, and
Getting close.
Iran and no, is it Iraq? Iraq that they're shooting down their planes
Yeah, somewhere over there.
somewhere over there. Yeah. So I'm just amazed.
Pushing
Just
back
see
and
what
forth
Careful.
with China too.
You're gonna fall back.
Yeah. Yep. Something's a brewing. And Trump's gonna be president again, so.
That's what really blows my mind. He's a crook, and they're gonna elect him.
But all of them are.
They all,
Yeah.
He's just a particular brand of exhausting, though, because he's so in your face with
Or
it, I guess.
entertaining.
Yes.
He doesn't think he's done anything wrong.
No.
And so, that's the thing is, it's just like drunk driving. They say, why don't they make stricter drunk driving laws?
Yeah.
Because the Congress would all be in jail.
Yeah. I looked up, like, can a convicted felon serve as president? And you can be in jail and serve as president as long as you get all, because the qualifications are like you have to be over 35, you have to be a citizen, but there's nothing outside of that in the Constitution, so you can.
Yeah, the only thing they have is, what is it, Article 14 that they've been talking about, that you can't have been a sworn officer to uphold the Constitution of the United States and commit
Like a insurrection.
Insurrection, yeah. So that's what they're trying to figure out. That's where he's in
If he
Colorado.
did,
Said he could be
yeah.
on their ballot, and Maine is following suit, but they took it to the Supreme Court,
Yes,
which
sir.
all of them are people Trump
I
appointed.
saw that the Supreme Court was looking at today, I thought, or yesterday or something.
They got it yesterday. I don't know what they looked at.
Yeah.
I haven't really seen.
But what is an insurrection? And that's the question.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know how you prove that he incited all that. I mean, he definitely didn't try to stop it. But they said there's been 1,000 convictions so far from the people that stormed the Capitol that day.
Yeah, some of them doing 8 or 9 years. And see,
they're
that's
taking selfies and stuff in there, like trash.
See, that's what I've always said. Since about the time that, like, when women's lib started real strong, the white man has not done anything, and then the blacks, and all of this, and I've always felt that there was, from what I hear, like when I go places, there's this group of white men under this that are just sitting back, that are getting fed up, and one of these days they're going to come out, and that's what I thought was going to happen with that.
I was watching a show about this girl that got mixed up. She started dating a guy who was in some of these extremist, far right white. They think states should be segregated. Like each state should either have black people or white people or whatever. And she got mixed up in it before she realized what was happening. And there's a lot of people out there that Or if it's still like the Nazi wearing swastikas and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, they claim Trump studied Hitler. And
Grandpa.
And what was interesting is how Hitler came to power. You know, Hitler became popular,
Yeah.
but he didn't have anything. He didn't have any support. So what he did is he started going to all the corporations
Grandpa.
and looking at them to see if they were legal. And if they weren't 100% legal, he took them, which is you can do.
Yeah.
And that's where he got his money from to support his effort. And the branch I mean, they have been on us. We're trying dot every I, cross every T, you know, and making sure that these kingdom halls, because like for a while they wouldn't even let us do anything with transferring titles or whatever, because in some states during the pandemic we were having trouble getting tax exemption. And a number of states were going to withdraw theirs because they said, well, you're not meeting it, you're not using it for religious purposes. And so we had a delicate balance there. And poor legal department, oh man, those brothers, they have got their hands full. And, you know, because one of the sisters I work real close with, her husband's an actual lawyer, and he works for his dad's company. So he gets to do a lot of things for the branch. But, you know, they're like, they just finished one that just tore him up. It's a 14-year-old little girl that her father was not a witness, her mother was, no, her grandmother was. She lived with her grandmother, and when the grandmother died, he sued for custody of her. But he had raped her and beat her and done all this to her. And so the branch was trying to help him. They weren't successful.
So she'll get a gun and kill him and spend 9 years in prison.
Yep.
That's the world's way
Grandpa.
of dealing with things.
How long did you replace those ceiling fans when it happened, or the lights? Or they were there?
They were there.
It's the same ceiling fans and lights.
Did Grandpa replace all of them?
These are the same ceiling fans since we remodeled this house and your mama was 15 years old. That's how old these ceiling fans
And
are.
I
Do
wasn't
you
born
remember
yet.
what was there? A different
Yeah,
type of
you
fan?
were born. But you were young too.
There was old ceiling fans? In the
Yes, they're old. They're, well, Stephanie would have been 42, I think I figured. So what's 15 from 42 is like 30 minus 3, 27 years old.
You know what he's about to be next month, right?
20.
Nope.
21? Don't tell him what you can do when
Nope.
you're 21.
Well, he already knows, I think. What are you allowed to do when you turn 21?
Whiskey.
That's
I don't know
bad
if you want to hit
news.
the hard stuff up.
I went into the store after John and I got married. And I wasn't 21 yet. And it dawned on me, I was buying liquor, but I wasn't 21.
Yeah.
And Johnny had been with me previously. So I told the girl, I better not buy this because I'm not 21. She said, I don't care. So she's saying up. So the next week I came and she said, you're not 21. I said, well, actually I am now.
I remember
Got you over the line.
because I was 20 when we got married in August, and then in November I turned 21. So all my life, you know, I never bought any liquor because I knew I'd get busted and, you know, all that. So I walked in, gave him the money, and he, okay. I've never been asked. Never been asked. The only time I have been asked is one day at Home Depot. I bought a can of spray, paint spray.
Yeah.
And they asked if I
I'm gonna
was.
go home and huff that.
I said, what do you think? And she says, well, I can't think.
Oh, that's a good answer.
The truth has never been told truer.
I was at Walmart and I charged it, I did my credit card. I forget the way they did it. Because the girl looked at the credit card and she said, "You didn't sign it." I said, "Oh, okay." So I signed the back of the credit card. Then she takes it and she looks at it, then she turns it over and she compares the signature with the signature on the bill. Like, okay.
Yep. It's
I
pathetic.
tell you, I read one thing
Grandma.
that we ought to, instead of being mad at kids like that, we ought to feel sorry for people that are trying to make a living on their backs. One day I got this pruning shears, and they were buy one get one free, but they only had one, and it was marked $1. So and it was just junk. It was just junk. So I asked the manager, "Can I get that for 50 cents?" And he goes, yeah, that's fine. So when I get up there, I told her, the manager said, well, no, I told her it's buy one, get one free, but there was only one. And so she said, well, then that would be half of $1. So she rolls up a little piece of paper out of the machine, and she puts 2 into $1, and she comes up with $1.37. I didn't know what she was doing, because half of $1 is 50 cents, So I said, that's not right. She said, oh, she wadded it up, rolls another little piece of paper, and she starts $1.67. I said, it's 50 cents. She said, okay, so she just charged me.
One day, Mike and
Grandma.
Mike Herbst and I
What
were out
happens
doing
when
a
you
call.
put water in the light bulb in the
And
He'll
so he
fly
said,
up.
I'll buy you an ice cream at Dairy Queen. I said, okay. So we go up there, and he hands the lady, the little girl, a $20 bill. And it was like $5.75 or something like that. So she gives him the change for a 10. And so Mike says, no, I gave you a 20. And she says, oh. And I said, it's laying right there across the thing. She had put it in place. So I said, there's the 20, so you can see it. Oh, she said, oh, okay, just a minute, I have to get the manager. So the manager comes over, and they're whispering back and forth. And so he hollers, bring me a calculator. So here's the manager.
That's awesome.
And this girl trying to figure out,
How much more?
gave him change for a 10, but he'd given her a 20.
$10.
And I said, all you need to do is give him another 10. And they look at me like,
What witchcraft are you talking?
Like he's trying to jump over something.
I tell you, well, and that's the reason I tell people, why we need to take care of our children in Jehovah's organization, because we have the only children that have any intelligence at all. Most of our children can read and write. They can give a talk. They can organize their thoughts. They've been around how to organize a group. They've had all this training, and Satan needs them.
And they haven't blown their brain on drugs and alcohol and.
They had a thing on this morning, talking about this lady. She did that. This is dry January, and so she started that. And when she did that, she just stayed. She just decided she wasn't going to, because she drank wine. She wasn't going to do anymore. So it's been 8 years, and she calculated she saved $48,000 over 8 years. Now that's about $5.50 a month. I don't know what kind of wine she drank, but either she drank a lot or she drank
the good stuff.
Yeah, the good stuff. And I have never found wine that was any good. Only time I drink wine was when I used to travel. And I traveled enough that every once in a while I'd get bumped up to first class, and so they'd bring you wine. And so I'd always drink it because it was free, just to get something else out of the airline.
Is Larry Belk still around? He used to make wine and stuff.
He's still here. His daughter has said she doesn't want anything to do with the truth. But, I think he goes to Angleton. But he's still Larry Belk.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Just all kinds of.
I have his wife on my LinkedIn profile, and she's always posted, like she's some kind of professional, I think for a hospital or something. but he always seemed like
Mm.
he
No,
didn't
I
have
don't
it all
chip on
day.
my lip if you're sick.
He was one of the.
I mean, he would come to the hall with wine on his breath and stuff like that.
Oh,
You
yeah.
smell it. And like slurring when he gave comments and stuff.
Wow. Well, that's another problem we always had with alcohol, because we read like the priests, they weren't supposed to drink any sort of liquor before they served Jehovah. So
Yeah.
when do you drink alcohol? Because you go on Sunday to the meetings, and Monday night we had a Bible study. Tuesday and Thursday we had meetings. Wednesday we had midweek where we went out and field service. Friday we had a Bible study. Saturday we had Bible studies, and we're back to Sunday. So, when do you really drink? I mean, that was our way.
You're gonna lose your pants.
And I bought, and I guess it's still in the refrigerator, a big deal of alcohol. I mean,
Orange schnapps.
not orange, apricot. It doesn't matter. Orange colored.
Some kind of
And I haven't even opened it yet, and the lady sold it to me for $1 at a garage sale.
Oh, wow.
And I haven't even opened it.
I don't
I've
know
got,
what schnapps tastes like.
I don't either.
It's
Probably
sweet.
nasty.
Yeah, schnapps is sweet. So
I don't know
whatever.
how long it goes before
whatever.
it goes bad.
Is it open? It hasn't been opened?
Nope.
It should stay until
Yeah.
unless you open it, it should stay pretty indefinitely.
Tyler, stop.
Yeah,
That's
you're
kinda
sweating
like,
stuff.
Stop grabbing stuff.
Hey,
Tyler.
what
You
is
did.
this?
Yep. You
Let
can't
me
just.
see what you got. Okay, that's, wait.
One of my cousins bought us a bottle of
Yeah,
champagne
you can
for
have
our
that.
wedding.
Yeah.
It's for color.
And we both just took a small
Take some toothbrush and toothpaste.
and we stuck it
No,
in there.
Tyler, no.
No, he won't. That's fine.
Tyler, I just bought some at the grocery store. like,
Oh, your dad said he just
2
bought
hours ago.
some.
Yeah. Tyler.
What did he find? What is it?
That's Blistex.
Oh, that's for your
Tyler,
lips.
stop grabbing stuff.
Keep my breath moisture.
Tyler,
Oh,
out.
oh.
Anyway, my cousin came over about, I don't know, 10 or 15 years later, and we told him that we had that. He opened it. He said, "Oh yeah, this is really good."